Good morning, students. Chapter 2, Human Reproduction. In today's class we are going to discuss about the topic gametogenesis. What is gametogenesis? Gametogenesis is the process of formation of gametes, that is sperms and ova from the primary sex organs. In male, the primary sex organs are a pair of testes. In female, the primary sex organ are a pair of ovary. Meiosis plays the most significant role in the process of gametogenesis. Gametogenesis, which occur in male, is called as spermatogenesis, and the gametogenesis which occur in female is called as oogenesis. First, we'll see about spermatogenesis. Spermatogenesis is the sequence of events in the seminiferous tubules of the testes that produce the male gamete, the sperms. So, spermatogenesis is a 2-mark question. So, spermatogenesis is the sequence of events which is taking place in the seminiferous tubules of the testes that produce the male gamete, the sperms. During embryonic development, the primordial germ cells. What are primordial germ cells? We have already learnt in the term gastrulation. What is gastrulation? Gastrulation, it is a process by which the blastocyst is changed into gastrula with 3 primary germ layers. The 3 primary germ layers are the ectoderm, mesoderm and the endoderm. So, primordial germ cells are the cells of the primary germ layers. These primordial germ cells, they migrate into the testes and become the immature germ cells called as sperm mother cells or spermatogonia in the inner surface of the seminiferous tubules. So, the wall of the seminiferous tubules is made up of germinal epithelium. So, there are 2 types of cells in the germinal epithelium. One is the germ cell and another one is the Sertoli cells. We have already learned about the Sertoli cells. The Sertoli cells nourish the developing sperm. Now, we will see about the germ cell. The germ cells, they undergo mitotic division. So, they multiply several times and produces the spermatogonia. The spermatogonia, again, they undergo the mitotic division and produces more spermatogonia. The spermatogonia is divided into 2 groups, type A spermatogonia and type B spermatogonia. The type A spermatogonia is going to become the stem cells. Stem cells means they keep on dividing. So, some spermatogonia, they continuously divide and produces more spermatogonia. And another one is type B spermatogonia. This type B spermatogonia is going to enter into different phases. That is multiplication phase, growth phase and maturation phase, and then they are going to become the sperms. Now, we will see this sequence of events which takes place in the seminiferous tubules. Now, we will see the first phase, that is the multiplication phase. Here, the spermatogonia undergoes mitotic division and produces more spermatogonia. In this picture, we are taking only one spermatogonia. So, the spermatogonia, it enlarges, that is, it grows in size. It accumulates the nutrients and grows in size. This is called as the growth phase, that is the second phase. So, first we have seen in the multiplication phase, the spermatogonia undergoes mitotic division and produces more spermatogonia. The spermatogonia are diploid, that is 23 pairs of chromosomes are present, and after that it grows in size and accumulates the nutrients, and this phase is called as the growth phase. And after growth it is called as the primary spermatozoid. That is, the spermatogonia enlarges its size, and this is termed as the primary spermatozoid. The primary spermatozoid are also diploid. And next is the maturation phase. Next, the primary spermatozoid undergoes the meiotic division. So, in meiotic division there are two stages, meiotic 1 and meiotic 2. Meiotic 1 is a reduction division. Here, the primary spermatozoid divides into two secondary spermatozoid. The secondary spermatozoid are haploid, that is, only half set of chromosomes are present. That is, only 23 chromosomes are present. So, again this secondary spermatozoid, they enter into the meiotic 2 division. And meiotic 2 division is an equational division. That is, it is like the mitotic division. So, the secondary spermatozoid, each secondary spermatozoid divides into 2 spermatid. So, totally 4 spermatid are produced. The spermatid are also haploid. So, the secondary spermatozoid, it is also haploid and it produces the 4 haploid spermatid. And after that, the spermatid undergoes many changes and it is converted into the full mature spermatozoa or sperm. And this process is called as spermiogenesis. So, spermiogenesis is a 2-mark question. What is spermiogenesis means? The spermatids are transformed into mature spermatozoa or sperms by the process called as spermiogenesis. In this picture, you can able to see the enlarged seminiferous tubules. You can able to see the spermatogonia as well as the Sertoli cells. The spermatogonia enlarges its size, it grows and becomes the primary spermatozoid. The primary spermatozoid again divides to form the secondary spermatozoid. The secondary spermatozoid divides and produces the haploid spermatid, and the spermatid get transforms into the mature spermatozoa. The sperms are finally released into the cavity, that is the lumen of the seminiferous tubules, by the process called as spermiation. So, spermiation means the sperms are finally released into the cavity or lumen of the seminiferous tubules, and this process is called as spermiation. The whole process of spermatogenesis takes about 64 days. So, at any given time you can see that is spermatozoid in different stages in the different regions of the seminiferous tubules of. The sperm production remains nearly constant at a rate of about 200 million sperms per day. So, the process spermatogenesis starts at the age of puberty, that is between the age 13 to 15, and it is initiated due to the increase in the release of gonadotropin releasing hormone by the hypothalamus. Hypothalamus is a region in the brain and it secretes the gonadotropin releasing hormone. This gonadotropin releasing hormone acts on the anterior pituitary gland and stimulates the secretion of 2 gonadotropins, namely follicle stimulating hormone and the luteinizing hormone. The role of follicle stimulating hormone is to stimulate the testicular growth and enhances, that is increases the production of androgen binding proteins by the Sertoli cells and helps in the process of spermiogenesis. That is, the spermatids are transformed into mature sperms is called as spermiogenesis. Next, the luteinizing hormone, it acts on the Leydig cells. So, where these Leydig cells are present? These Leydig cells are present around the seminiferous tubules in the connective tissue. and it stimulates the synthesis of the testosterone. So the main function of the Leydig cells is to stimulate the testosterone hormone. This hormone in turn stimulates the process of spermatogenesis. So spermatogenesis is the sequence of events which are taking place in the seminiferous tubules. So the main site of sperm production are the seminiferous tubules. Next we'll see about the structure of human sperm. In this picture you can able to see the structure of human sperm. The human sperm is a microscopic, that is you can see only under the microscope. It is flagellated. So you can able to see a long thread-like structure. So it is called as flagellae. And motile gamete. Motile means that is movable. It swims. The body or the whole body of the sperm is covered by plasma membrane. So the body of the sperm is fully covered by the plasma membrane. And the sperm is divided into three parts: head, neck and tail. The head comprises of two parts. One is the acrosome and another one is the nucleus. So acrosome is a small cap-like pointed structure which is present at the tip of the nucleus. So acrosome is present at the tip of the nucleus and it is mainly formed from the Golgi body of the spermatid. So the Golgi body in the spermatid is converted into the acrosome. So acrosome is present at the tip of the nucleus. So this acrosome contains a proteolytic enzyme called as hyaluronidase. So the acrosome contains a proteolytic enzyme called as hyaluronidase. It is popularly known as sperm lysin. So what is the function of this hyaluronidase or sperm lysin? Is it helps to penetrate the ovum during fertilization. So ovum has many protective covering, isn't it? So this particular enzyme will dissolve that coverings of the ovum and then the sperm will enter into the ovum. Next is the nucleus. The nucleus is flat and oval. So the nucleus which is present in the sperm is flat and oval. The neck is very short and it is present between the head and the middle piece. So the neck is present between the head and the middle piece and it is very short. It contains the proximal centriole, the neck. In the neck region only the proximal centriole as well as the distal centriole are present. So the proximal centriole towards the nucleus. The proximal centriole is present towards the nucleus which plays a major role in the first division of the zygote. And the distal centriole gives rise to the axial filament of the sperm. So the proximal centriole plays a major role in the first division of the zygote and it is present towards the nucleus, and the distal centriole gives rise to the axial filament of the sperm. The middle piece. So below the neck region you can able to see the middle piece. The middle piece possesses the mitochondria. So the mitochondria is spirally twisted around the axial filament and it is called as the mitochondrial spiral or the Nebenkern. So in the middle piece the mitochondria is spirally twisted around the axial filament and it is called as mitochondrial spiral or Nebenkern. So the mitochondria only produces energy in the form of ATP molecules for the movement of the sperms. So the energy for the movement of the sperms are produced by the mitochondria. The tail is the longest part of the sperm. So below the middle piece the tail region is present. It is the longest part of the sperm and it is slender and tapering. It is formed of a central axial filament or axoneme and an outer protoplasmic sheath. So the tail is covered by an outer protoplasmic sheath. The tail is slender and tapering. The lashing movements of the tail push the sperm forward. So the tail only helps in the movement of the sperm. The human male ejaculates about 200 to 300 million sperms during coitus, that is during physical union, the human male ejaculates about 200 to 300 millions of sperms. And it is estimated that around 60% of sperms must have their normal shape, of which at least 40% must show vigorous motility for the normal fertility. So only the 40% of the sperms must show vigorous motility, that is movement, for the normal fertility. The sperm is the smallest human cell and the ovum or egg is the largest human cell. So till this we conclude our topic. So go through the topic spermatogenesis and also the structure of human sperm. So in this topic you will be just mark some short answers. What is spermatogenesis? Define gametogenesis. What is spermiation? Write the role of sperm lysine. What is mitochondrial spiral or Nebenken? Okay students, till this we conclude. In the next class we will discuss about the oogenesis.